The following video is brought to you through the generous support of viewers like you. If you like this content, then please consider subscribing, liking, and sharing this video. And for those who are in the position to donate, this channel thanks you. And so does this orange cat.
Joan of Arc, more like none of Arc if they're gonna make her non-binary. I'm going to keep that one in, even though I'm adjusting. I shouldn't be showing off the straps, but I liked the take. I am Mecca, and that Joan of Arc chick is no longer a chick. It should not be Joan. It should be none. It should be no name. It should be... She's now a non-binary, they, them person. A clown Is this a bad time to point out that maybe going for one that might have one of the headmates?
We get a lot of questions about our headmate who happens to be a duck.
Might be a better idea, because Joan of Arc famously heard things in them's head.
And he was just waddling around and stepping on everybody's feet.
It was often rumored that Joan of Arc heard voices that told her to go and fight for the religious, righteous, zealotry, moral something.
Miss Arc totally rousted the English from France.
Joan of Arc is now, you didn't believe me, Joan of Arc is now going to be portrayed as non-binary, a non-binary binary, they, them person, a he, him, she, her, they, them, doll, it, pronoun person in a theater production. I, Joan. Wouldn't it be they, wouldn't it be we, Joan? Is I too singular for they, them? That's always been a problem with people in other countries, is I'll see comments saying, hey, English isn't my first language. I thought they was more than one person. It's confusing. It's confusing. I did see something recently where the they, them person admitted that they were doing it just to screw with people, that they were using different pronouns just to try and trip people up every day. Just like I said, people do this so they feel like they are part of the current trend of things, and it's got to be insulting to actual trans people like myself who are three spirit, who identify as Beavis and Butthead as my pronouns.
It doesn't get any better than this.
Because why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't I at this point? I mean, when I do my Vegas live streams, I do fall off of many steps looking at schlongs in the backside of women and statues of unclothed people, which we cannot show. But you can show the point the way to the Shapiros, and you can play the spot the Shapiros game when you watch us over there. So stay tuned to the All Las Vegas channel and Back to Las Vegas if you want stuff that isn't crazy like this. If you want something free of all of the culture war, the tribal stuff, the people who think that they're gonna complain enough on Twitter to save the world. So Joan of Arc will now be portrayed as a non-binary character in a new production at Shakespeare's Globe. The French heroine, known for fiercely leading the French battles against the English soldiers in the 100 Years' War, will be played by non-binary actor Isabelle Thom in I, Joan. Alright? That kind of marginalized people, though. It was already a big deal that it was a wahmen back then, and it's taking away from the fact that this was a very female-oriented achievement. It was a big deal because it was a woman. So if it was a non-binary they, them person, would it really be that big of a deal? Or would have they let that well, they probably would have burned the person at a stake anyway.
Burn already! Burn already!
It's like really, you're gonna swap out a character just to burn them at the stake? They're burning they, them's people. They're burning they, them's people. That should be the title. They're burning they, them's people at the stake. And that's what they do in these. Remember when they race swapped, what's her name? The Henry VIII's wife, just so they could cut off the head of a black woman. Because diversity and inclusion means that you too can have horrific things happen to you equally. Of course, because we can't have all the bad things happen to people who look like me throughout history, now can we? No, they can happen to they, thems people and everybody else too. The script for the play, which opens at the Historic Theater later this month, has been altered to change the pronouns of the French patron saint. Oh, that's going to be hard for people who remember and learn Shakespeare by heart, isn't it? That's hard for people like me who are reading it. That's hard for people like me when I'm talking about that actor who plays the really fast, speedy dude.
What's the matter, amigos? You missed me, huh?
No, not him. The they, them person.
Did you want to fight? Is that the deal?
Who wants to fight and things like that. Oh, and now we're gonna get demonetized for that. Who cares? We already are. We're talking about pronoun people. Go ahead and put the clip of that person in.
Did you want to fight? Is that the deal?
You want to fight? Speedy Gonzalez was call them from now on. The producer has been described as powerful and joyous, the production, with artistic director Michelle Terry saying it will question the gender binary and offer the possibility of another point of view. Of what? Being some little girl who's out there hearing voices and wants to, despite it being a man's war, go out there and fight too? I mean, they're kind of missing the point of it. I'm not the only person who thinks this. We do have some celebrities weighing in. Yes, as being a cultural icon, played in countless films and books and things, especially like in Bill and Ted, one of the most important ones.
And all this by the time she was 17.
Didn't J.K. Rowling on Joan of Arc? Oh, Rowling on Joan of Arc. She said something, didn't she? The Daily Mail. Here we go. Exclusive. Block. We don't want you sending me things. Rowling ridicules Shakespeare's Globe Theatre for portraying Joan d'Arc as a non-binary binar with them and they pronouns. As a women's rights campaigner saying to rewrite female history is an insult. Yes, it is, especially when they're doing it just to chop off a woman of color's head or to burn at the stake a pronoun person. I thought we were trying to be progressive here. I thought we were trying to be inclusive. Maybe find some instance of a they, them person in history who was ridiculed for it and make a movie on them, because we're kind of at the point now where we've gone through the marginalized whamens, we've gone through the other find some marginalized other sort of types throughout history and make movies showcasing and featuring them and their struggles and their stories. Leave my stories to my crazy people here. What does she say? Harry Potter author J.K. Rowling has ridiculed the Globe's theatre portrayal of Joan d'Arc as non-binary after women's rights campaigners said the switch was insulting and damaging and degrading. It's degrading. I don't know why, I just have to assume it is, right? Who cares? I'm looking at Kylie Jenner here and I feel very, very marginalized to not be as privileged as Kylie Jenner or Taylor Swift. But there you go. Mail Online's exclusive yesterday on Shakespeare's Globe Theatre production of the portrayal of Joan d'Arc has sparked extensive backlash from feminists and historians. See, it's more of an insult that is historically inaccurate every time they try and change something, right? Meow, cat's agreeing with me. They get it wrong just to further marginalize another marginalized person in the name of diversity and inclusion and while Ms. Rowling's entry to the debate was the lightest of touches, it will be seen as hugely significant to supporters of her views and causes. Well, people love to just trash her trash or support. I'm kind of indifferent on J.K. Rowling because she seems to kind of have similar viewpoints to what were traditionally pretty progressive back in the 90s, where you're inclusive to the point where you don't marginalize people who are already marginalized further by being including of somebody who doesn't necessarily have to marginalize themselves in some way, shape, or form. It's like having somebody put on the costume of it. It's almost like blackface, isn't it? It's like saying, hey, here's somebody in blackface who's getting the same. I don't know. Then again, there's the guy who changes his what was it? Transracial. Became Korean. Who Who knows? Who cares at this point? What does she say? Nobody cares what I say. Her remark of coming next, Napoleon was a woman because he was defeated at Waterloo was liked by Ms. Rowling. Oh, who said that? Ms. Rowling's entry is the lightest. It came after a Twitter user. Oh, here we go. It came after a Twitter user criticized the Globe's new I, Joan production. Her remark of, coming next, Napoleon was a woman because he was defeated at Waterloo, was liked by Ms. Rowling on social media. It came moments after Heather Binning from Women's Rights Network told Mail Online the play was damaging to women. I don't know, it just marginalizes Joan of Arc for no reason. It just seems like such a big giant, hey, look how diverse we are. We're gonna take something that was already about a marginalized person, probably with some mental issues, and what? Do what with it? Just swap it a little bit? You might as well put her in blackface at this point. It's literally the same thing, I think. She said that demonstrates, and now people are going to, and no one's going to see this. This is what's so refreshing and fun about being in the position I am. Nobody is out there massively getting upset by this unless you guys share this video and you guys help. Let's share this to anyone who'd be triggered by this. Why not? Why don't we? Share it to your pets, share it to your friends, go into other chat rooms and talk about me. Say Mecca is spot on with the Joan of Arc thing if you're still watching. And if you're still watching right now, say it in the comments. Mecca, you're spot on with the Joan of Arc thing. That it is just a dumb, stupid, idiotic thing to get clicks for this. I don't know. We're all spot on, I think. This demonstrates how our arts and creative industries have taken the woke mantle without realizing that being kind to one group of people actually hurts or damages another important and fundamental group. That's what I've been saying. You can't marginalize another group of people in the name of including one. And this is where the really slippery slope happens with society. Joan of Arc was female. Her early years were spent cooking and cleaning and looking after the animals. When she was 10, she had a vision that she was to fight for France. In order to do this, she took on the outward appearance of being male. It had nothing to do with feelings and everything to do with the biological reality and disadvantage that being female brought. Many women throughout the ages have been told to adopt maleness in order to be taken seriously and advance their ambition. That's true. Even recently, DC Fontana hid the fact she was a woman so she could write science fiction and be taken seriously. And I'm not trying to be all yay feminism, or I'm not trying to be all turfy or anything like that. We love the trans people too. We just don't feel like it's always necessary. Nobody's trying to erase because you know, people might have a difference of opinion about somebody playing Joan of Arc or a non-binary. Because remember, non-binary people were just androgynous back in the day. They were just, could they? It was like David Bowie. You know, could you be a man? Could you be a woman? You were a little bit feminine and a little bit masculine. And that was perfectly cool. But it's also so old and been done at this point that needing that right now to be the only interesting part of anybody, I don't understand why people are weighed down by this anyway. To be honest, like, why does it matter what your pronoun, your identity is at this point? This morning, feminist academics said the twist on Joan was a modern nonsensical ideology. It is. Well, it makes as much sense as them changing out what's her name just to chop off her head. She said, "This offends me. Joan of Arc is a female cultural icon. She was escaping the constraints of being a woman at the time. Non-binary, I have been told, means neither male or female." There you go. There you go. That's even dumber. That's even dumber. That's even dumber. How are you going to even tell this story? You're going to have to rewrite the entire... and now it's about somebody who wants to look neither or both to upset people on TikTok. Is that what it's about now? I mean, are you going to give her the TikTok app? Are you going to be playing We Will Rock You as she fights the French? Or maybe come in on ABBA's Waterloo too. Do that. Just play that because I saw it.
Waterloo!
No, that's a stupid idea. Don't do that. Misogyny and the erasure of women. It's not erasing women. It's just proving how dumb we are. It's how much we've de-evolved as a society where people can't even people can't even look at something like Joan of Arc without needing to reimagine, redefine, be including of it in this modern day wokier than thou ideology that has nothing to do with anything. Seriously. I don't care what else to say. Yeah, they're rewriting history. I don't think they're rewriting history. I think we all know that. Look at something like Hamilton, for example. We know that Alexander Hamilton wasn't black. We know that Joan of Arc wasn't non-binary. And it's just a way to have a laugh at how stupid we are as a society, that we're literally about 3 weeks away from pouring Gatorade onto plants. That's how bad we've gotten. We have de-evolved in front of our eyes. I think it started around 1974. To be perfectly honest, I don't know. Becca, I am gonna wrap this one up because I just am so tired of complaining about this one. It's a stupid idea and they should feel bad for doing it. See you guys later. Bye! Thanks for watching. If you liked it, make sure to hit that like button. And if you want to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye!
Yeah, you've really opened up my eyes.